Hello, TopFanRivalry followers, and welcome to Friday, which means it's time to do the weekly review. Jackson, are you ready to go?
I am ready to go.
So, if Jackson just doesn't seem like as giddy up as Jackson normally is, it's because Jackson flew from the East Coast to the West Coast and apparently sat on the tarmac arguing with the pilot on whether or not he was allowed to fly the plane or not. So Jackson, I next time just sit as a passenger, man. We know that you can do everything, but you don't always have to do everything. You know what I mean?
Yeah, yeah. I just thought I'd ask.
Just thought you'd ask. Just thought you'd ask. All right, my good friend. What do you got for number one today? We're gonna dive right into it because I know
Uh,
that you're busy today.
yeah, we'll dive right into let's just get it out of the way. The White Sox have now lost 100 games, Bill. Uh, it's the fastest calendar wise to 100 losses. It is the worst record through 131 games in 108 years. So, a round of applause for White Sox ownership. You have equaled I believe it's the 1916 Philadelphia Athletics level of suck. So if you guys don't know how bad that team was, go look it up and then cry. I'm sorry, White Sox fans, but hey, at least you might win something, and it might be the worst record of all time.
Giddy up, right? Giddy up. Yeah, I looked this morning. They lost yesterday. They now have 104 losses. I put their over under at 120 for losses, and I'm fearful that I'm going to have to say the over on this.
I think they might lose 130. Actually they already have 31 wins. Yeah, no, yeah, they'll be like 120 something, but they're like 8 and 32 or something like that in their last 40. So I'm not optimistic. Tell you that.
Yeah. Well, if it makes you feel any better, Jackson, on that in the leagues on Monday, I have my E card, that stands for eliminated. I actually showed that for the White Sox on Monday because let's face it, the White Sox are not going to make,
No.
they're just not going to make the playoffs. So, okay, we got that out of the way. Let's get let's get out of the way to the fact that the Oakland Athletics and the Angels are dueling it out for the worst record in the American League West. And believe it or not, the Anaheim Angels, hold that dubious honor. Jackson, what the heck is going on in Anaheim?
I just think the team's bad. They have a lot of not good pieces, but I think they're doing a good job at playing their youth, getting their youth experience. Zach Neto hit his 20th home run yesterday, so he has a 20 home run, 20 stolen base season from a shortstop. That's pretty good.
Mm-hmm.
If you can carry that kind of momentum heading forward, Neto could be like a 25, 25, 30, 30 guy. I think that's a really nice piece along with Logan O'Hoppe to build around. So the Angels are bad this year, but I don't think that's necessarily a bad thing. I think they've made a lot of progress. A lot of their pitching prospects have looked a little better. Um, Ben Joyce looks like an elite closer. And Bill, you got to give credit to the Athletics. I think they have one of the best records. They're in the upper half of records after the All Star break. They're playing really well. And shout out to Lawrence Butler for his second 3 home run game of the year last night.
I like it. I like it. Yeah, I mean, yes, you can give credit where credit is due, right? But um, and I love the fact that the Angels are playing a lot of their youth. Yes, I love that. Do I think the future is bright for the Angels? I do. Dot dot dot.
Yeah, I think it's going to be a slower process than a lot of people want it to be.
Hmm.
Um, but hey, you're expecting to be bad anyways. You might as well be getting something out of it, and it's good player development.
I didn't expect them to be worse than the A's. I'm not gonna lie to you. I did not expect them to be this bad.
The A's scouting department shows why it's elite, even with their limited resources. That a lot of the A's young players have really turned it around this year. So, uh, I mean, it is a little surprising, but I figured the Angels would be right there with the A's, just because, my especially if you told me if they didn't have Mike Trout the entire year.
No, it is what it is. Anaheim, better luck next season. Uh, hopefully, the I, you know what I think the Angels are really missing. Obviously, pitching. They're missing some pitching, but Ben Joyce does look like an elite closer. Zach Neto looks good. what I think they need on the offensive side is they need a veteran presence. They have it in Mike Trout, but they need a veteran presence on the field every day. Um, and Anthony Rendon is not going to be that veteran presence. So they need to go out and grab somebody.
Yep, right, absolutely.
My understanding is they're in trade talks right now with a really, really decent first baseman. And the team that is wanting to do that trade has said we've had so many injuries this year, just supply us with our baseballs for the next season and we're good. So um, it looks like Matt Olson is going to be an angel uh, for a bag of baseballs next
Good one.
season. That's what Jackson, what you got for number two?
I mean, let's get it out of the way and talk about Aaron Judge for a second. 2 years ago, he had arguably one of the best offensive seasons in Major League history. This year, in my opinion, he's outdoing himself.
Yep.
He's already at 51 home runs, 123 RBIs. He's walked 110 times. He's got a 731 slugging percentage, Bill, which is absurd. And he's hitting 333. So, I mean, he has an outside shot at the Triple Crown. Bobby Witt can't, be otherworldly Bobby Witt for the last month. I think Aaron Judge definitely has a shot at winning the Triple Crown. And I think he has a shot at breaking his AL home run record at the same time and having a 1200 OPS. He's so good. If he hits 50 home runs again, he'll just be the fifth player in MLB history with 3 or more seasons of 50 home runs. Joining the likes of Babe Ruth, who did it 4 times, Mark McGwire, who did it 4 times, Sammy Sosa 4 times, A-Rod 3 times, has done it 3 times, and Aaron Judge has done it 3 times. So, I mean, pretty good company to be with, especially when you're, not on a list of maybe getting a little extra help from, your special stuff. But
Yeah.
I think Judge, like, if Judge plays like this for the next 3 seasons, he's a shoe-in Hall of Famer. He plays at
Yeah,
75% of this for the next 2 seasons. He's a shoe-in
no, no,
Hall
no,
of Famer.
no. I think that he's a great argument for Hall of Fame right now. I
Yeah.
mean, one of the quickest guys to ever get to 300 home runs, right? He's young. He's 30, I think, or 31.
32.
32, yeah. So he's still got some petrol in the tank. He plays for a team where he can be the DH. It will not surprise me if Aaron Judge comes. I know this is going to sound crazy, but even with the natural progression of age, right? It would not surprise me if in the next 8 seasons he puts up, I'm going to say on average 40 home runs. Okay, because he's gonna slow down, but over the next 8 seasons, that will put him over 600 home runs. That would not surprise me at all. Would it
Yeah.
surprise you?
No. I mean, he's just crazy to watch. He gets up there and he's a danger to any ball in the zone. I saw a stat before he got his 1,000th hit the other day that he was at 50 WAR before he got 1,000 hits, which just blows my mind, Bill. He's at 1,002 hits, 308 of them are home run.
Well, and so here's the argument to be played, right? So last night I'm having dinner with somebody that um, here in Phoenix, and uh, we were talking about it, and he says if you're the opposing pitcher, you're just happy if the guy gets the ball. You don't even worry about getting him out. You just don't want the ball to leave the yard. Like if you get him out, that's like you're living right, right?
Yeah.
So, I mean, yeah, yeah.
Yeah. Just thought it was of note. He's drastically cut his strikeout percentage over the last couple of years too, which has just been really impressive, especially from the type of tax he takes at the plate.
100%. 100%. Okay, I like that for number two. The number two that I have is holy Kansas City guacamole. Kansas City went in and did what they needed to do against Cleveland. They left that series only a game out. Um, Kansas City is really, and what what I don't think that some recognize is whoever wins that division will miss the wild card round because they will have the second best record in that league, possibly even the best record in the league. because it doesn't matter if it's Houston or Seattle, they're not going to have the best record. They're going to have to play the wild card room. So Kansas City's looking at it like, hey, we want some time off. Um, you know, Cleveland's looking at it like, hey, we need to do this thing. We need to make this thing happen.
I agree with you. I think, in both leagues, you want to dodge the wild card round this year because if you look at the wild card teams, you have the Baltimore Orioles, the Kansas City Royals, and the Minnesota Twins in the AL. And the third division winner will probably be the Houston Astros. You know, you don't want to play any of those four teams really. I know the Astros are the worst division winner, but they've been to what, 7 straight ALCSs, so don't want to play those guys in the short series. I could even flip it over to the National League. Who wants to play the Arizona Diamondbacks and San Diego Padres after the kind of second halves they've had? Nobody.
No, you don't.
Nobody. Nobody.
Who
It
does? I mean, these guys are too hot.
in a 3-game series, no thank you.
Exactly. Exactly.
So
So, wait, one of the things that we always talk about, Jackson, you and I talk about this offline. Baseball's a weird game. Like you could be the hottest team, and it's different than football when you have the wild card round and it's just like one game. When the wild card was one game, that used to tick me off because anything can happen in baseball. I mean, just this week, I watched several different balls just have seen eyes, bounce weird, go weird. You can end up scoring the winning run on a bad ground ball. It's weird. Whereas in football, you can kind of come back and you can huddle up and things like that. Most of the time, you're outplayed. You don't beat yourself. In baseball, you can beat yourself.
it's very easy to beat yourself in baseball. In football, it's a string of mistakes. In baseball, all it takes is one.
Yeah, yeah,
One bad pitch, one defensive miscue, and you've lost the game.
100%. Okay, numero tres, or for those of you that are wondering, that's number three. Jackson.
Um, I want to talk about the Seattle Mariners for a minute. I got a short little rant here.
Do, please
The,
do.
the Mariners have the lowest ERA in the MLB. They also have the lowest batting average in the MLB. Tell me, Bill, as a general manager, how do you go out and have it? I guess we talked a little bit about it last week, but how does Jerry Dipoto have a job when he goes out and he's wasting a starting 5 rotation that could be, one of the all-time greats if they had league average run support? The Mariners are still 4 games back of the Astros. They haven't made up any ground. Um, a note with the ERA and the batting average thing. If they finish with the lowest ERA and the lowest batting average, it'd be the first time since 1937 that a team ranked last place in batting average and first place in ERA.
Ladies and gentlemen, top fan stats guy right there. That is a
Yeah.
great statistic.
Yeah. So
I don't know. I don't
it,
know.
and to me, the fact that they're playing Julio Rodriguez hurt to try to, kickstart the offense, and he's been terrible because he's injured. To me, it screams like they're giving up a token fight, and manager doesn't really care about it. They're slipping fast still. I don't think if the Astros didn't have a 4-6 week, the Mariners would probably be done. I'm just going to put that pretty blunt. And
Yeah.
I have zero faith in Seattle to catch the Houston Astros.
I do, but I don't. So I watched them in LA when they played the Dodgers, and they looked like a team that was struggling with their identity. It looked like a team that it's almost like the team in April that you see, right? You try a couple of different things, you try to work out some kinks and things like that. It never seems to,
Nope.
it never seems to work. Uh, they're struggling identity wise. So that being said, um, I really, I, I do think if they can put together a week or two where they go 4-2, and then when they meet the Astros, because remember they play the Astros in the last 2 series, they play the Astros one more time. It's a 3-game set. So you don't want to go into that set down two where you have to sweep. um,
Yeah.
and so You do need to crawl back. I think there's 4 games that separate them right now. So you really need to put together. You need to have a good weekend going into Labor Day.
Yeah, I mean, the biggest Mariner stat that sticks out to me is Logan Gilbert has a 3.09 ERA, a .9 WHIP over 172 2/3 innings, 172 strikeouts. He's 7-10, Bill. How do you how do you lose 10 games with a .9 WHIP? And a lot of it's, he'll pitch, and you look at the game log. They lost the game that he went 6 innings, 6 scoreless innings, 10 strikeouts. You know, they'll lose games where he goes 6 innings, gives up 1 run. It it, you
Crazy.
like you said, it's a lack of team identity. And, the fact the few Mariners games I have seen this season, they shake up their lineup every time they go out there. And to me, that's a sign that, management doesn't know what they're doing because they're at a loss of how to get the team to gel.
They haven't won a division since what, 2001,
2003, but
2003. So it's
yeah,
been 21
it's 20
years.
years.
Yeah. And so if that doesn't tell you, you know, the only other worst part about ownership might be the White Sox right now, right?
Yeah,
So I wonder if you get a free set of steak nice if you lose 120 games. It's hard to do.
I don't know. Do you think the last game of the season they'll just pull 9 random fans from the stands and say why not?
Good, it could happen. Hey, you, you can play and we'll give you free Portillos. All right. So my number 3, Jackson, is an obvious one. And it's, listen, I'm going to be a homer here for a second, but do we think that Shohei can go 50-50? He's at 42-42 right now. To hit 8 home runs between now and the end of the season is 8 home runs in like 26 games. Yes, that's a feat, right? But do I think that he can get the 50 stolen bases? Yes, I do. Um, what do you think?
He needs to not press. If he starts pressing for the home runs, 8 home runs in the month is hard to do. It's a little easier when you're Shohei Ohtani or Aaron Judge or someone like that. But 8 home runs in the month is certainly a number of home runs. I think if he just keeps the same plate approach, he definitely has a chance. Like I said last week, what I am worried about is if he finds his power stroke again, he's going to be hitting too many doubles and too many home runs to have meaningful opportunities to steal bases because he is a team guy first. He's not a big, he's not one of those guys that just steals for the sake of stealing. He's not going to try to steal third just to chase 50 stolen bases. He's going to try to win ball games, especially with a really big series this weekend, heading over to Labor Day, the Dodgers and the Diamondbacks. This is a series that he can't afford to wastefully run. So,
It's it. So you're right. He doesn't need to press. He needs to stay healthy. Don't go for 50-50 and then knock yourself out of and put yourself on the IL. Um, do I think he can do 50-50? Sure. Do I think it's going to happen? I don't know. What I'd rather him do is be 42-42 and the Dodgers win the division and keep winning, right? The Dodgers have gone 8-2 in their last 10 games, which is a complete flip from the 10 games prior. Uh, I did see him not last night, the night before, I want to say it was against Corbin Burns. Corbin Burns had him on a 1-2 count in the first inning. And Corbin threw him a curveball that touched the outside part of the plate. It would have been rung up for strike 3. Okay. Touched the outside part of the plate. Shohei was full. He was looking fastball and he kept his weight. His weight was up front, but he kept it back far enough, reached out as far as he could. And instead of taking it to left field for a base hit, he took it over the right field wall. And I showed my wife, I said, you got to come here and watch this. Because as a pitcher, I look at that and say, there's nothing I did wrong there. It's
no,
just Shohei.
yeah.
it's,
He
it's
had him
just Shohei.
you have him off balance, if you talk to a lot of the pitching guys, Bill, I'm sure you've heard the phrase tunneling before. Really big in pitching where you're getting guys to basically guess.
Yeah, it's
And
it's an, and that's what you want to do. You want to get them, off balance. You want to get them to guess those type of things. And
it's
unfortunately, yeah, it was
it's
not.
it's all a mind game and a sequencing game. But yeah, guys like Shohei Ohtani, I saw Jordan Alvarez do it the other day against the Phillies, where you make a beautiful pitch on the outside corner and he just flicks it over the left field wall. It's like, okay. Or you make a good pitch down and away and he pulls it 450 feet right center field, and you're just like, well, shoot, got to make that out of the zone next time.
Yeah, 100%. 100%. You mentioned Aaron Judge. I had to mention Shohei because we have historic seasons going on. Aaron Judge could potentially hit 60 home runs again.
And
Shohei Ohtani could
win the triple crown. That would be crazy, wouldn't it?
Yeah. Well, he's having it. I don't think there's a question in anybody's mind that Shohei is the National League MVP. Aaron Judge is the American League MVP. But I have to tell you this, though. If I were voting, I'd have a really tough time not voting for Bobby.
I agree, but the Judge hits another 60 home runs and has a 1200 OPS. You kind of just sit there and go, well,
You win.
good
Don't
job,
even send
Bobby.
me the ballot. Just
Yeah,
understand that that's you
yeah.
win.
Just your ballot comes out pre-filled, first and second.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly. Awesome. All right, Jackson, do you have any honorable mentions?
Good baseball this weekend. Braves, Phillies, Diamondbacks, Dodgers. Probably two of the the biggest series in the National League. So keep an eye on that. And
Reach.
yeah, just
Reach. I love it.
Enjoy the holiday weekend. Enjoy baseball.
Yes. Yes, it is. As I've expressed to people, each team has between 26 and 30 games left. We are at the end of the season. There will effectively there will be 18 teams that will not be playing in a month, right? Or a little over a month. There will be 12 teams that are going to fight it out for jewelry. Jackson and I have already agreed. We know who is going to get the jewelry this year. It'll be a nice parade leading up to Chavez Ravine. It's going to be an amazing thing. It's not going to be the people that Jackson's wearing the hat for. He lost a bet. That's why he's wearing that hat, by the way. He knows the Dodgers are.
Oh, come on. You don't want to see World Series champion Whit Merrifield?
You must have been breaking. I don't. I couldn't hear. Oh, what's going on with the computer here? Oh, Dodgers World Series. Okay, got it. And Jackson.
Hey, you got to win the division first. It's like you said, 30 games.
There you go. There you go. All right, my great and good friend. Let's do this again next week.
All right, sounds good.
For all of you Top Fan Rivalry followers out there, we've got some amazing things coming. We've got some amazing things in the locker room, in the team store. Do not pay full price for it. You're going to use the code
Jackson. Get 10% off.
Jackson. You're going to use the code Jackson.
Yeah.
And what's that do for you,
It
Jackson?
Gets you 10% off your locker room access. Gets you 10% off your merchandise. 10% off baseball cards. Bill, I think you have a new shirt that you were flashing to me.
I do have a new shirt, new Top Fan Rivalry shirt right there.
You get 10% off that. It's got that little logo on the front. It's even bigger on the back.
Even bigger on the back.
I love the red color on that. I'll probably scoop one of those up. But yeah, don't pay full price. 10% off.
Do what you got to do. All right, my great and good friend. We'll do it again next week. Thanks, everybody, for listening.